Okay, guys, we just wrapped up finals at the Arnold Classic, and I was wrong. So,
Wild.
I thought Samson was ahead tonight for sure. I'm assuming, I haven't seen scores yet, but I'm assuming yesterday they probably had Derek ahead, and maybe he didn't do enough tonight to pull ahead. I think I had the rest of the lineup pretty spot on. But yeah, Derek was phenomenal. Look, one thing I want to say before we get into each individual person, this was like the best bodybuilding show I've seen in a long time, as far as like the lineup all being in shape and like just looking fucking wild. Like, this is probably the best Derek I've ever seen, the best Andrew I've ever seen, the best Brandon's been in a long time. So there's a lot of like really crazy shit that happened tonight. Ian, what did you think of the top 5, 6?
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with what you said. I mean, the whole top 6 was absolutely incredible. I mean, all the guys look awesome. I think they were all better tonight. You know, it was a fucking super deep lineup. You know, Derek, like you said, I had Derek ahead yesterday. We talked about it yesterday. I did think Samson was better tonight, and watching it, I thought that there might be a chance that that Samson could overturn it. So I'm interested to see the scoring, but it was definitely very close. But yeah, no, I think Derek looked great. I think it was well deserved, but Samson did look incredible. Andrew and Brandon also very close between those two as well.
They both came back better tonight.
They both came back better. You know, I personally had Brandon winning, but I think Andrew was a lot better tonight. His quads were a little flat yesterday. He came back a little fuller, but still amazing conditioning for what we've seen from Andrew. So yeah, no, I think as a whole they did a good job.
Seth, what did you think of William and Akeem?
I thought,
rounding up the top 6.
I think everybody came back better. I think that between those two, I think that it was just, I think Bonek was just that much more polished.
Yeah.
I think he was just that much better.
Especially from behind him.
Yeah, from behind, and then just his overall package that William brought, I think it just, I don't think the team could keep up with it. But, I mean, rarely do you see every single person in shape, but every single guy come back better the second night. All of them came back better.
Did you feel like William had better control of his stomach tonight?
For sure. I think everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, especially because I think yesterday we all kind of commented that Samson had a little bit of trouble with his posing.
Yep.
William looked a little bit, not distended, but it was kind of like a little bit rounder. Tonight, everybody kind of like brought it in.
Yeah, I think with William, I think since his lats have come down in the years, I think that when his stomach started distending a little bit, he started breathing a little heavier. It just threw his whole physique off.
Yeah.
I gotta say one thing too, and huge kudos to all these guys. Like the step up I've seen in posing.
Oh my God! Yeah.
From men's open guys in the last few years, and I think that's the Arnold Classic has done a lot of that. You know, really putting the emphasis and like, oh, we'll call these guys out on that shit.
Yeah, like
the posing routines. All of them were awesome.
The first 3, like Derek, Andrew.
These were classic physique levels.
Samson, half, and then he started kind of walking back and forth. But the first 3, I think it was Derek, Andrew, and then somebody else.
And Brandon.
Brandon. They were like,
and
wow.
even Akeem had a great routine.
Yeah.
You know, Akeem's not known for his posing. So.
Paul, what did you think of? I think James came back better tonight. What did you think of the James and Sean? They were kind of comparing those two, and they compared Akeem in there too for a minute.
Yeah, which we didn't get to see with where they fell. James and Sean.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
After. Yeah. James got harder James got much harder as he was posing tonight. When he first came out, it kind of like, okay, he's not popping, but as he posed, he got harder and harder. He started to come alive, the details started to come more alive. So, based on that, but I think Sean was ahead of James yesterday, so with both scores, I think Sean probably ended up having James tonight.
How much better do you think James was tonight than yesterday?
Quite a bit better, especially as he posed longer. Like in the later rounds, he was really getting sharp.
Do you think if James showed up like he was yesterday, like today, if he showed up that way yesterday, do you think he'd have been top 6?
Definitely would have been in the mix for it. He would have been 6, 7 for sure.
Well, because the only reason I say that is they were comparing James and Akeem, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So I think if James hadn't lost ground yesterday, it's kind of the same story with Samson. I think Samson lost a little ground yesterday.
Yeah.
And he made it up tonight, but it might maybe not enough.
I don't know if he would have beat Akeem. It was a good Akeem, I thought.
It was a very good Akeem.
You know, and I don't know if James would have been dominant enough from the back to overcome Akeem's weaknesses.
Yeah, Akeem's detail from the front is really good.
And the
where
side.
James lacks a bit. You know, I think James, if he can hold it any pose, it is in the side poses. The side tries, side chests are very good, but those are know, Akeem has some of the best side chest and side try in the planet.
Yeah,
let
yeah.
alone in like any this lineup. So
Seth, what did you think of Derek and Samson?
So, I liked at this show, you know how on the podcast we always talk about, like, for all the fans to be able to see the difference between everybody. What I really liked is how they did Samson and Derek.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did,
the 2 minutes.
They did
Brandon,
the two battles,
Brandon.
and then people were able to kind of start to decipher because the distance between, I think, going in twos from there and each pair, like you knew there was distance between them, and I liked how they separated it.
Yeah.
But I think that what I was telling everybody earlier, last night we were talking pretty close,
Yeah.
and we all knew Samson was just a little off, but was huge and just overpowering. But what we were saying was this throws a huge monkey wrench into the difference of what Samson won the Olympia, and we were like, that's what they're looking for.
Right.
And then this happens, and now we're like, this is what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a massive impact, but I do believe that Derek brought the better package,
Yeah.
overall polished package. But I don't think it was massive difference between the two of them.
Well, it's funny because you said that because me and Ian always talk. We kind of have this debate about what they're looking for. And
Sure.
Ian always says they're just looking for the best package. And tonight kind of demonstrated that. They're not really looking for the biggest guy with the most aesthetics. They're not looking for the shortest guy with the best condition. They're looking for
best body
and
builder
Derek,
that day.
because Derek's legs look better. I personally still don't think they're up to par with his upper body, but they did look better. It created a more balanced physique, and then you got also the most conditioned guy in the lineup.
I also think it helped him a lot, which we discussed yesterday, the little bit of posing changes Derek made.
Yeah.
You know, tweaking that 1 foot out, I think gave a bit more shape instead of just standing upright.
Ab and thigh was
Yeah, because he doesn't have like that sweeping kind of like leg, it's more adductor based.
Yeah.
So I think when he creates a bit more shape in that pose by picking that one out, I think it helped the shot a lot on his front line and front double. You know?
One of the two things that really stuck out to me were, and like I said, everybody, there was a lot of like bests that I saw, but like, I really like that Brandon maybe wasn't his best, but like he can still fucking compete.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was right there with Andrew.
That's still a first call out Olympia.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see them go with those one more round.
Yeah.
I was upset they only did one
See who
round.
faded first?
Because I wanted to see one of them fade, and that's what I thought they were going to do. But they made the decision.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for one more.
And I'm always actually really hard on Andrew, but I was like, personally think this was the best Andrew I've seen.
Tonight, yeah, I agree. Yeah, he was wildly impressive in person. The detail from the front is outrageous.
Well, it's like they took the condition they had yesterday and filled them out.
And it almost made him look more conditioned.
Yeah, and it looked better, yeah.
Because he had a little more pop and kind of pressure to the muscle.
Yeah.
His conditioning made him look better. His quads were a little fuller, which is my biggest critique of him yesterday. And then his midsection, chest, arms, delts are just like on a different planet.
Did you think the judges got it exactly right?
No.
What do you think?
Not my opinion, no.
What do you think?
I think yesterday, Derek, I could have made a strong argument for Derek being ahead yesterday by a point or two, but tonight I thought Samson was ahead by a bigger gap.
Well, it's funny you said that. I heard today from someone notable that there was a 1 point difference.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say who it was. But now looking at that, I'm assuming it was Derek.
Right.
But I think Samson made up. If it was, that Samson made up that 1 point.
That's how I felt. I
I
felt
would've-
it was
yeah.
more than a 1 point win
Yeah.
for Samson.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it.
Well, because the main gripes I think yesterday were the stomach was a little distended, not
Right.
really in control, and then he was a little watered.
Right.
But it seemed to clear both those things up tonight.
I thought so, like quite a bit.
And he was posing a lot more aggressively.
Yes.
So I thought for sure he would have made up that 1 point, but maybe it was more than 1 point. I don't know.
Maybe, I guess, but yeah, to me, like there, one pose for sure. I thought of winning, maybe two. To me, that was all he wanted.
Do you think the judges got it right?
I do.
Do you think the judges got it right?
I think they did.
What was your biggest standout of the show?
I mean, Derek coming back after the Olympia like a tough, being the champion, coming to regain a title of the Olympia champion is fucking huge.
Yeah.
That's big for him. Honestly, the person I was the most impressed with was probably Brandon. This
big.
Brandon to me
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I got excited to see that. Like, Brandon is not a young competitor. Brandon started before I did, and he's still going strong at shows like this, so that was like motivating. Like, I saw that and it like made me feel emotion seeing Brandon up there like at that level and being like the best he's been in years. His legs looked better, the separation, his conditioning was exceptional. So yeah, kudos to Brandon. That was definitely the cherry on top for me.
Biggest standout of the show?
I think Derek beating Samson is massive. It throws a huge shockwave because the crowd was divided, which was pretty wild to hear in person.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't get like watching
yeah.
a live stream or just
feel
looking at
the-
pictures.
feel the tension.
That's
Yeah.
why coming to a big show is so important for people to do. Like, we talk about it constantly, and people argue online, but seeing it in person is so much cooler. But I think that I agree with, I was talking to Ty about it, Brandon, like, I was like, it's just fucking, his upper body is mind-blowing. If his upper body matched his lower half, it would be a different story.
And it flows so nicely, like his side chest, side tri, like everything's round and pieces together so beautifully. Like he looked great. And the dryness, you could see in his side leg. I mean, he was really on.
I think he had more detail in his hamstrings than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Seth, sorry.
Andrew jacked off, so like tonight he looked like an alien.
He looked nuts.
Like, it was wild.
That
Like, his
post
chest
muscular
hair.
he does is just like, what the fuck is even happening here? You know?
Well, we're going to wrap there. My biggest standout of the show was the fucking show itself. The
Yeah.
last,
That was a great
like
show.
those posing routines, like Ian touched on, those guys are really putting some effort forth. The looks that showed up tonight, the conditioning, the even just the oil and the tanning and everything, like everybody was like bang on. So it was really cool to see like the attention to detail tonight. And standouts, I kind of put them in my stories already, like Derek, best ever, Andrew, best ever, like these guys just like really brought it. And one last thing, Samson's energy fighting with Derek had the crowd fucking riled right up. That was really cool to see both of them going at it real hard like that. So anyway, awesome show. That's our wrap for the Arnold. And we'll see you guys at the Detroit Pro.
Yes.
Half these guys are going to be there. It's going to be an awesome show.
Yeah, we'll be there.